Welcome, everybody, to Jane Remember the Name, and I'm going to be talking today about rollback taxes and what they are, and maybe taxes in general, because if you've ever seen a list of the taxes that we pay, it's unbelievable. If we got rid of all the tax and just everybody paid a 2% tax, everybody would be even, and everybody would have more money, and it would be a wonderful. But I don't know if the municipalities would like that, the counties or the cities, because are the schools, which to me are highway robbery, but that's okay. Well, it's not okay. Well, let me talk about rollback taxes. And the reason I'm talking about rollback taxes is because I have a business, as you guys know, called Hide and Seek. And Hide and Seek is, it's a struggling business, and we need clients. So please come even if you're, you know what? That's even a better idea. Even if you're not in this area, you can rent a storage unit and just to help out. It's hideandseek.com. It's www.
Hide and Seek Storage. Hideandseekselfstorage.com.
Is it hideandseekselfstorage.com?
Let me check.
No, I think it's hideandseekstorage.com. www.something hide and seek, and it's in Edinburgh or McAllen, Texas.
Hideandseekstorage.com.
Hideandseekstorage.com. There's one somewhere way up north, but that's not us. We're in the south. So if you'd like to help and just, anonymously donate, maybe I could be like one of those pets that I'm always having to fix. I could be a pet that you could, come and have and help. So, but when you develop a piece of property from farmland, which we did, for somehow or another, after they tax you, and I'm going to just use $3,000 is what our tax was, property tax, on this property for 10 acres and the buildings. They come back and they charge you 3 years in arrears. I know Sean's shaking his head. They charge you 3 years in arrears, and they call it rollback taxes. I don't know if it's state mandated. I don't know if somebody just came up with it. I'm sure it's a law or a suggestion and people just ran with it, because you never know anymore what's law or just people doing it a lot and they think it's a law. I have no idea, but I don't know what the county does with these rollback taxes. To me, it's a way to crush the developer again. And so here they are. There's been many developments that have had to quit because of their rollback taxes. Depending on how large the projects are, if you have to pay 3 years about whatever it's worth, that could be a substantial number. So, and then I get bonus on top of that. I get one from the McAllen city saying, hey, and it's got a big red stamp on it that says rollback tax. And I went, ugh. And so I went, rollback taxes? And I just thought I wasn't thinking. And the city wants $3,000 too. They want $2,900 for back taxes for 3 years for rollback taxes. Now you tell me, most people had never even heard about it. Sean, you'd never heard about it. But it penalizes the developer for turning non-productive land into income-producing an entity for the city. So they're going to be getting taxes anyway. But I don't know who came up with this tax thing. And so since somebody told me that I could be the next Rush Limbaugh, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to be Rushette. No, I can't. I'm not even comparing myself to him, but he was fabulous. But, Elon Musk, who doesn't need our money, and I know a lot of people don't trust him, or, I'm not a big fan of Tesla, as you know, right, Sean? And I go and I'm a big oil and gas fan. So I'm on the Trump side of the argument of oil and gas or electric. I know electric's going to be coming someday. I know that. But I just don't want it right now. Maybe they can do it after I'm dead, and they can have the flying cars that are electric or whatever they want to do. But every time I see a Tesla, I go kick the tires, because those are oil and gas products. And I kick the tire and go, oil and gas. oil and gas. And Sean, because he thinks he's funny, named his car Oil and Gas for a day just to go, here, I'm going to name my Tesla Oil and Gas, which I thought was pretty funny. But you're talking and everybody's doing this. But, everybody gets audited. Everybody gets audited except our government. The government hasn't been audited, and I can't, not in my lifetime. In your lifetime, for sure.
They talked about it.
Everybody talks about auditing, but it's not a very popular thing to do. Nobody, when you file bankruptcy, nobody goes out and screams, hey, I filed bankruptcy, because it's an embarrassing type thing. So now that we're auditing our agencies and wanting to know where the money's going and wanting people to produce something if they have a job, wow, what a novel idea. You want to know that if you're paying somebody that you're getting their money's worth. And I've heard both sides of the coin about, I just think that's so rude having to write down 5 things that I did. If you can't write down 5 things you did at your job, then you're not needed.
And you're not doing anything.
And you're not doing anything. So why, as a taxpayer, me paying taxes, why would I want to pay you to do nothing? No, I was sitting in my house and I had 3 things happen to me just like that. The last time, I got a call from the this and this. And so I'm putting out fires. I'm doing, I can tell you 5 things I've done today. But if you're not being able to tell somebody what you're doing, then what good are you? At least they're not, you're not, nobody's killing you, nobody's putting you for a firing squad. But if somebody's coming in to audit our government and you have a problem with that, then you're part of the problem. And if you can't tell somebody what you're doing, and I have a really close friend, and he's has friends in D.C. They're moving out because they've lost their jobs. Well, some of those are self-employed. I know that the market in D.C., the housing market, is just plummeted because thousands of people are leaving. But some of those people shouldn't have had their jobs anyway. So they got, it's even here in McAllen and Edinburgh, you get a job because you knew somebody and you'll be working for the county or the city or the state, and all of a sudden you have a job that they can't fire you from. Great. So that gives you a ticket to do nothing. And of course, there's always going to be, there's out of 10 people, this is a hypothetical, that means I'm making it up. There'll be 10 people at an office that are in government jobs, and maybe 2 will do the work. So what are the other 8 doing? Right? Am I right? I mean, you run an office.
Yeah.
And Elon showed that when he fired 80,000 people from Twitter, and the production stayed the same. I mean,
that's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. So if you can fire 80,000 people from Twitter and the production stays the same, think about the waste that the government has worldwide. I mean, and we have properties and we have interests worldwide. Also, my guru, Chad, he was saying that something has been kicked around, that the government owns a lot of properties, unproductive properties. They own trains. They own a whole lot of stuff. So they're thinking about selling them off to the private sector, or maybe going in business with the private sector to do a better job and pay down the debt. I think anything you can do to pay down debt is worthwhile, because maybe you won't have a problem, but your kids, if you have kids, their kids are going to have a problem. And if we go broke, that's a real problem. the gold standard. They're thinking about, going in. Well, nobody's gone in to audit Fort Knox for years. And when it went in, I'll give you a good example. It just came to me. I don't know what the show was, but Brandon Fraser was underground. His parents thought they were in the 60s. What was that show? It was a great show. And he comes out and they taught him how to dance, and he had all these original cards.
I just saw that movie.
You just saw that movie? And so when he came up, everything his card that he paid a dime for was now worth, $40,000 or something. And so if you have to reevaluate something, if we evaluated gold back in '06 of the teens or whenever it was that they reevaluated at, I'm making numbers up because I don't have the real ones. It's the theory. It's the theory of how it works. So maybe it was $50 an ounce, okay? It's $50 an ounce. Well, now if you go in and re-examine the gold, and what was it at the high at 3,000? Now it's down to about 28, I think. 2,800. That went from 50 to 2,800. Your gold is going to be worth a lot more. So your debt won't be as bad. Okay? So you have to reevaluate things. You have to go in and just reevaluate everything. So I'm all ready for Doge to go in. I think every state should have a Doge that they go in. Texas should have one. Everyone
should be accountable.
Everybody
publicly
should be accountable, especially if you're a public figure or that that USAID thing. Oh my gosh, it was a money laundering operation.
If we have to be accountable?
Yes, the government should be accountable. Yes. And since we need to be accountable, okay, I have a palm tree philosophy. And have I told you about my palm tree? Oh, I haven't. I love palm trees. I've got a palm tree here. I got a palm tree here. At one time before the freeze, I had 100 palm trees around my house, and the freeze got them. It was very sad. And I've been thinking lately that, some of the palm trees may not make it. And I'm like very sad because what if I can't plant back palm trees? It'll just kill me. But then I found out it was a biblical story about the palm tree. Get them. Okay. So my palm tree philosophy is, if you guys are not familiar with palm trees, maybe we can use pine trees if you're further up north. But palm trees, they come out with their leaves, and a lot of them the leaves die and they come down, okay? And if somebody doesn't cut them, they come down, especially the big, tall Washingtonians. They come out, they die, and they come off. And I mean, they can have trashy leaves all the way down halfway to these palms. But if you do not trim your palm trees on a regular basis, they collect things like roaches, snakes, possums, all kinds of rats. There's all kinds of stuff that are growing inside these palm fronds that are dead. Now, my palm tree philosophy is that, your life is like a palm tree. And palm trees are great because when the winds come, storms, palm trees, you see them, even they even go through tsunamis. They just bend over and come back up. But if you're in a hurricane, palm trees can bend down and come back up. And their root system, it's very strange because it's not real deep. They're just real flexible. So if you've got a palm tree philosophy, if you have a challenge, the best place is to take it to God and leave it there. But if you have a challenge, you've got to remember that you have to go with the wind because you're always going to come back up. So this palm tree goes and then it comes back up. And just like the palm tree, you have to trim people out of your life. If they are not, as my friend Patty would say, what do they add to your life, Jay? Doesn't mean you have to be rude. Doesn't mean you have to diss them. But what do they add to your life? So as a palm tree philosopher, you need to trim people out of your life that aren't helping you. And I don't mean helping you monetarily. I mean being more positive around you to, you can do this, like this wonderful letter that I got from a friend that doesn't even know me and encouraged me to do this. So I just want you guys to know that a palm tree philosophy has nothing to do with rollback taxes, but it just came out that way. So if Doge comes in and trims your palm fronds, be grateful that the rats weren't there. So, and we are finding, since they've been trimming all these palm fronds, we have found a lot of rats, a lot of big rats.
I'm grateful.
I am super grateful. And I'm sorry for the people that lost their jobs. The chances are that they didn't, I don't know, something about when they tell you to come back to work and you don't want to come back to work. I have a problem with that. It's like telling me that I'm the other of a male and female. I'm not that either. I am a woman. Now, I have been told that I have a lot of man tendencies, and I was on a trip one time, and I was doing something, and I met this gay man. He goes, Jane, I've decided what you are. And I'm like, oh, this should be interesting. He said, you're a drag queen. Because I'm real girly and, real flamboyant, and I love feathers. Because you're a drag queen trapped in a woman's body. You think a lot like a man, but you're very girly at the same time. And I thought, well, okay, I can go with that. And if you come to our Edinburgh Rotary event this month, it's called Bayou Brewfest. If you would like to purchase tickets, and go to Edinburgh Rotary and Bayou Brewfest and purchase. They're $100 each. It's downtown Edinburgh in the Polarium place, kind of downtown. And we're going to have a bunch of beers, and wine and music. And it should be a really fun deal. So you'll get to see me in feathers. You'll see my true ostrich come out because I'm going to have these great purple feathers. Last year I wore pink. But we're doing the Zydeco thing. And so I got purple, Mardi Gras, blah, blah, blah. So if there's anything else, I have to take a breath right now. So I'm going to tell Sean to stop because I need to breathe. Stop that a minute. You didn't stop it. He didn't stop.
It doesn't matter because I want to cut it out.
What? No, what?
I'll cut that part out.
You don't have to cut it out. I don't need to breathe. I was just breathing, I just wanted to breathe. I felt like I had to talk so much to get through this, and I was like, you need to breathe in here somewhere. Okay, I'm a goof. So I don't know how long this one is, but I think I'm tired. 20 minutes? Oh, that's plenty. That's enough. 20 minutes is enough of me for anybody, I think. Maybe that's why I don't have a husband number 4. But if you're out there, and I have a list, I need to go over that list someday with you, because that'll be really interesting. One of us, you have to be a Christian practicing, and you have to be trustworthy and honest. Well, that kicks out a lot of people. And you have to have access to flying private. That's another thing. That's really high on I think that's number 3. I can't remember what number 2 is. And you have to like Josh, and he's part of the package. So other than that, and animals, and I'd love it if you could dance, but and not drink too much, because then there's no future in that. Okay, I'm pretty much done with this. So I want you to have another day. Don't forget to bend like the palm tree, come back out, shake off all those palm fronds. And, if somebody talks to you about taxes, instead of getting angry that they're invading your privacy and trying to do something, be thankful that somebody has the balls to take on this monstrous job. It is monstrous. And for somebody to take this on, it's going to get bad for a while, because it just is. But after everything shakes out, our country will be much better. It's like Trump moved what was it? From Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, the embassy, right?
And he recognized the capital
And he recognized the capital
as Jerusalem.
as Jerusalem. And so everybody said, yeah, we're going to do it. Yeah, we're going to do it. Yeah, we're going to do it. Well, Trump did it. And guess what? Everybody was upset for what, about a week? Riots, this, that, and then all of a sudden, okay, fine. So riot for a week. Don't riot, but I mean, get mad for a week. Get a hold of yourself and know that this is going to be better off for us, your grandkids, your great-grandkids, and it's going to make America the best country in the world that it already is now. So, you guys, if somebody says something, just bite your lip if they get mad, and then just tell them to take the mask off. And so I'll talk to y'all later. Have a wonderful day.